This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Sat downstairs with the dogs, and I occasionally get asked questions about sort of guitar setup. I guess because I play a lot of legato, I think people assume certain things. So first of all, I used to play with 11 strings. I now play with 10s, but I'm not a super light string boy, but 10s I think is a good sort of average. And actually I'm not a low action kind of guy, which is what spurred on this video. I'm actually going to raise the action on, or increase the relief on my gold K-line Springfield. I think this is the guitar that I'll show you kind of my ideal specs on, because it's kind of my favorite thing to play, and that makes sense that from a playing standpoint it's probably got some things that I like about it. But if someone said to me, how would you want me to set up this guitar, I think I'd say medium action and with 10s is basically the answer that I gave when Yamaha asked how I wanted the concept guitar set up. Chris from K-Line did answer my question. I think this has CTS pots in it. I believe 500 was the answer that he gave. So CTS vintage taper, switchcraft input. So that basically covers that side of things. This guitar has Lola Dirty Blondes in it. Chris also makes his version of those, which he calls the K-Line Signatures. I find them to sound pretty similar, and I have K-Line Signatures in a few of the other guitars. But yeah, low output pickups, so sort of in the 5K range, and Alnico 4 or 2. Alnico 2, I think. No, I don't know, does magnet really make a huge difference? I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, I'll show you some stuff with a ruler now. I think people will assume from my style of playing that I'm particularly interested in low action, I think, probably because there's quite a lot of legato. This guitar is actually probably set up with my lowest action, and it's definitely too low for me. So I wanted to sort of show you this, because I get questions about this relatively often, and I thought, well, maybe this is an opportunity to sort of do a video about that. And obviously, if I've got a chance to make a video on something, I will. Right, so let's just try and see what this action actually is, using the baby's high chair as a bench. But I think probably can't see very well there, but I think it's like a mil there, maybe. Either way, pretty low. That's not ideal for me. This is the Yamaha Pacifica, the prototype that they, well, concept guitar that they sent, and that's actually a little bit closer to where I like things, and that Again, really difficult to actually tell, but I think you'll be able to sort of see that that's substantially higher, maybe sort of twice the action as on the other, couple of mil maybe. Let me grab my blue K-line and just show you that as well, because that's got some pickup height stuff that I want to show you. Okay, so here's my blue guitar, which the K-line I think is probably about bang on for what I like spec-wise. I think, to me, it seems like that's maybe about a 2 mil. Something like that. Now, I also wanted to show you the pickups, which hopefully you're going to be able to see if I set this up correctly. What you'll probably notice is those are actually quite low. So these are the Lola Dirty Blondes, which actually have flat pole pieces as well. So it's about the top of the camera there. But that's sort of nearly ½ centimetre below the E string there. I think doesn't make too much difference if I fret the note on the neck. A little bit higher on the bridge there, so maybe that's about between 4 and 5 mil, and then about 4 mil on the maybe 5 on the unwound strings, 5 or 6 there, and about 5 there. So they kind of slant back down this way a little bit, all of them as well. But if you're interested in that sort of thing, that's what's going on there. About 2 mil action, and actually these on my favorite sounding guitar are a little bit lower than maybe you might expect. Typically, you know, you see pickups way higher than that. I don't know if this might be a reason I really like this guitar, or it might just be random. I'm not too fussy with things, but things that I find a little bit difficult to play are super low action. And the other thing is, the thinner the neck, for me, the higher I find that the action can come up to compensate. So if I had a really thick neck, lower action might actually suit me better. I think it's something to do with the amount of pressure and sort of, you know, hand position. I find that bends are also, you know, easier with a slightly higher action, and the vibrato comes out a bit better, and yeah, maybe more sustain. Some of these benefits, I think maybe lower action isn't always the way to go for everyone, in my opinion. Right, I've just adjusted this, and I think that's a bit better. You probably see now, hopefully, before and after, that it's not just the angle of the camera, but I think that is quite significantly closer to sort of the 1 mil mark, which I think is about, or is it 1 or 2? Maybe 2 mil, which I think is about where things sort of fit for me. So that's a 1.5 mil pick. I can almost slide that under, so between 1 and 2 mil. I guess I'm not super precise with any of this stuff, but I just know lower than that can kind of get a bit too low, and I'm finding it, yeah, less enjoyable to play, I guess. What's your kind of favourite setup? Let me know your pointers in the comments if you want. I think there's a little bit of a misconception around whether you need certain setups to play certain styles. I mean, people like Holdsworth, yes, playing 8s, but do you need to? Probably not. I think Tom Quayle is one of these guys that actually has a slightly higher action than you might expect. Yeah, the low action thing and light strings, I think, is a little bit of a misnomer, in my opinion anyway.